Welcome to the latest episode of Papal Profiles, in which we look at Pope Symmachus, whose legal troubles led to the development of a major forgery that is still enshrined in Catholic canon law to this day. The problems for Symmachus started with his election in 498 as a rival claimant, Laurentius, was also elected. Symmachus had the backing of the Roman Church hierarchy, but Laurentius was the candidate for the nobility with their connections to the Eastern Empire. The Ostrogothic king Theodoric was consulted on the matter, and he decided that whoever was elected first and by the largest faction should be pope, which was Symmachus, but Laurentius did not concede. The politicking by the Laurentian camp continued, and they accused Symmachus of having won favor by paying bribes, leading to the first of 4 trials for the Pope, but the Laurentians were also accused of attempting to bribe the king, and so Symmachus called the first synod in 499 and was cleared. Then, in 501, Symmachus was accused of several misdeeds, such as improper relations with women and holding Easter on the wrong date after new formulas to calculate its observance were developed at Nicaea. Whether the charges were real or politically motivated, we will probably never know. During the series of 3 synods held from 501 to 02, a set of forgeries was developed by his supporters to exonerate Symmachus, creative fictions that bear the name of the Symmachian Forgeries. The forged events described trials of previous popes that just happened to mirror the charges facing Symmachus and conveniently provided precedents for his exoneration. The Catholic doctrine, the first see is judged by none, as elaborated by Gelasius a few years earlier, is retroactively assigned to a trial of Pope Marcellinus at a fictitious council in 303. Another forgery dealt with papal accusations that involved Pope Sixtus III in the early 400s, where it was claimed to be illegal to pass sentence on a pope. Of the fictitious trials, the most relevant is the Council of Sylvester, supposedly held in 324 and issued Canon 3, known as the Sylvester Accusatorial Canon, which states that a pope can only be judged by God. This forgery entered church canon law by the 900s after Leo III invoked it during his trial with Charlemagne in 800. Despite scholars knowing the forged pedigree of the Sylvester Accusatorial Canon, it remains in force in Catholic canon law number 1404. Other canons of the Council of Sylvester declared a bishop could only be accused by 72 of his peers and not by any subordinate clergy or non-cleric, a move done to shield the clergy from civil prosecution for any crimes. One only needs to look at the multitude of sex abuse cases facing the Church today to see what a lack of secular accountability has wrought. Shortly after the papacy of Symmachus, a new form of papal rhetoric emerged in the form of papal biographies known as the Liber Pontificalis, or the Book of the Popes. The Constitutum Sylvestri and its fictions came to be so authoritative that the pro-Laurentian version of it, known as the Council of 275 Bishops, was included in the entry for Sylvester in the Liber Pontificalis. The Loomis edition gives a modern scholarly perspective in the footnote for Sylvester's entry. The records of the council and of the canons promulgated by it and by Sylvester at this time are fabrications of the age of Symmachus, intended to provide sanction for episcopal claims and to exalt the episcopal office in general. Democopoulos also notes a further aspect of the Vatican's attempts to rewrite history, given that Canon 4 of the Constitutum Sylvestri stated that the property of priests, including those not beholden to papal interests, was to be turned over to the Roman Church upon their deaths. The titular churches, supported by aristocrats in the camp of Laurentius, had been established by the cults of earlier Christian martyrs and had remained independent of the cult of Peter, based in the Lateran and Vatican basilicas. Canon 4, which contrived a papal role in the creation and organization of the tituli churches, was useful in absorbing these other cults under Vatican authority. Subsequently, bishops raised to cardinals became associated with the titular churches to continue this charade. Thanks for watching. Please check out the other videos on my channel if history is your thing, and see you next time.